TOA community, welcome back everybody. Robert Linkul, trainingtheolderadult.com. We are continuing our dive into Outlive. This is from chapter 11. We'll read a little bit and discuss. This is what we want to avoid. We can avoid it with the help of this powerful drug called exercise that miraculously extends life and improves health span. The difference is that it requires much more work and knowledge than simply taking a pill. But the more effort you are willing to put in now, the more benefit you will reap in the future. This is why I place such an emphasis on weight training. And in doing it now, no matter your age, it is never too late to start. My mom did not start lifting weights until she was 67, and it has changed her life. There are dozens of studies showing that strength training programs can significantly improve the mobility and physical function of subjects who are obese or recovering from cancer treatment, even those who are already elderly and frail. Therefore, I will find a way to lift heavy weights in some way, shape, or form 4 times per week, no matter what else I'm doing or where I might be traveling. But exercise gets a little more than lip service from Medicine 2.0. When was the last time your doctor tested your grip strength and asked you detailed questions about your strength training? Does your doctor know VO2 max, or do they offer training suggestions on how to improve it? I'm guessing that this happened precisely never, because none of what we're covering here or in the nutrition chapter is even considered to raise the bar level of healthcare, at least in our system. Some insurance companies offer discounts or incentives for members who go to the gym, but the kind of focused attention that I think we all need, including me, is well beyond the preview of most physicians. It's only after we get injured or become weak that we are in danger of losing our independence, that we are deemed eligible for physical therapy or rehabilitation. So think of what follows as prehab, physical therapy, before you need it. All right, so this, man, I tell you, every one of these, it's like you could read a paragraph, talk for 10 minutes, read a paragraph, talk for 10 minutes. There's a lot to download in that. So the first part of this, where they talk about he talks about the magic drug. Like basically everybody wants a very simple answer to their problems of their physical ability declining through the aging process. And there is a very simple answer to it, at least for the most part. 50 to 60% of the way there, resistance training can get you there. So if you did as little as 20 minutes, 2 to 3 days a week, 4 as Peter suggests, right? Literally 20 minutes. So you go get a membership gym at any of the gyms that are like little 24-hour open places, right? You can go in anytime you want to. And you go in and there's a pressing machine and a pulling machine and a pushing machine and a pulling machine and a leg press and a quad extension and a curl and a calf pump. There's 8 exercises right there. 4 for your upper, 4 for your lower. If you did that, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, all the way around twice, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the next week do it again, and then the next week do 3 times around, and then the next week do 3 times around, and then the next month now as you get going, instead of sets of 10, go to sets of 12. Instead of sets of 12, go to sets of 15. And then once you get to sets of 15, move all your weights up and go back to 10. If you just did that, I mean, that was 3 months of stuff we just talked about right there. If you did that every day, just for the rest of your life, massive improvements would come to you. Not only in strength, as we talked about bone density, muscle mass, but in increases in physical function, which improve mobility, physical function in those who are obese or recovering from cancer, or even those who are elderly or already frail, deemed frail. So it's never too late to start to improve this. And it's not just, I got to build muscle and bone. Increases in mobility and physical function are huge. You're going to work through ranges of motion and build strength in deep flexions and long extensions that help you move in your regular day-to-day. So if you're doing a leg press, let's say, seated machine, you push your legs out in front of you and bring them back. If you do that, sets of 12, 15, whatever you do, and you get strong there, when you go over to squat down and pick up your laundry basket, that's basically what you just did, right? your leg press is pushing this way. Well, if I flip you up and down, it's the exact same movement. That's the whole point, is the leg press kind of mimics a squat position. And each machine kind of mimics certain movements you'll do through the day. So if you can train in that, not only are you getting stronger and more bone dense, but you're increasing your mobility and your actual physical function. So there's carryovers to this, which are greater than just the benefit of strength and bone, plus your energy and your sleep and your cognition and your cardiovascular system, everything else will all benefit, okay? So he says, no matter what, I'm always gonna find time to lift weights 3 to 4 days a week. In my opinion, that's the right approach. Like, that should always be the priority. I'm gonna get my 3 lifts in no matter what, okay? And then the other, whatever other things I'm doing, rucking, walking, golfing, hiking, biking, swimming, tennis, whatever, Tai Chi, yoga, all that other stuff will always be the second tier for me. The strength priority is such an important component, because whatever else you're trying to pursue, if you don't have the strength structure to support it, you're not going to be able to pursue it as well, right? So as I get older, every decade, if I want to keep golfing, keep swimming, if I don't have that strength structure, my ability to do so is going to start to decline, but my physical presence and my physical being will start to decline as well. In college, at my biggest, I was like 255, 260, and 6'3", and 18 to 20% body fat. I'm 43 right now, and all those same details, those exact same details. I've just really repositioned my frame a little bit, where I'm not so much lower body. I've started to move my upper body. I've got a little less actual body fat, a little bit more muscle mass, but the same statistics from 20 years ago, through that hard work to try to maintain that. Now, I want to be those same stats, maybe a little lighter, when I'm 65 or 63 years old. I'd love to still be 6'3" and still be 240 plus pounds, because I've kept my muscle mass, right? That's going to be a tall ask, but I think I can do it. And that's going to be the goal for all of us, is to keep our physical presence, keep our physical being as best we can. Next section down, talking about your actual doctor and what does the doctor tell you. One of my clients yesterday told me their doctor told them that it's not physically possible to increase bone density without medication. And I said, was this for only older people? And they said, no, there was a 80-year-old person in the room, there was a 50-year-old person in the room, there was a 30-something-year-old person, assistant in the room. And this doctor said, for anybody, everybody, you can't increase bone density without drugs. And I was like, that's complete bullshit. That's absolutely false. That, in my opinion, is somebody who's making money off of distributing that drug. So of course you would say that if every time you said that and you prescribed that medication, you got money back, okay? There's 100% proof that showcases at any age you can start to resistance train, and that will assist in keeping bone density or building bone density. Now, as we get older, it's much harder because you don't have the hormonal response to help with that unless you're supplementing it in. But the problem with a lot of those bone density medications are, once you start taking them, you have to keep taking them, because your body starts to recognize that if this is where we're going to get our bone density from, then our systems will stop doing that. It's not going to waste the energy to try to build bone if it's being supplemented some other way, okay? That's one part of it. But the other part is the medications, for the most part, again, I'm no expert, but from what I've read on this, basically coat the outside of the bone and make it hard. So think of like a PVC pipe, okay? That means the porous bone and the growth on the inside, the spongy material that starts to expand out, it doesn't really maintain or reproduce anymore. So your bones almost become hollow. So if you do, on the outside, if you like knock on the bone, you're like, oh, yeah, they're really dense. Look at the outside, it's all coated and it's hard. But on the inside, it's brittle and empty. So if you fall and bang your thigh on the ground, instead of your femur going like this and having all that porous material, it just goes and it just shatters into pieces. Like, imagine a piece of pipe on the ground and you step on it, right? And it just breaks into like 8 pieces. That's basically kind of what happens because of these drugs. So ideally, if you catch it early enough in your career, ladies, 30s, fellas, 50s, okay, that you might have bone density issues. If you start lifting right away, increase protein into your diet, and then make sure you're getting a lot of calcium and mineral deposits into your body, right? You're getting multiple attempts a day to get good calcium and minerals into your body. Your bones can maintain density and or actually increase. It just depends on how well your body responds, okay? So the medical profession is not necessarily inspired to say, go lift weights and try to do this the natural way. Make sure you're getting enough protein. Make sure they're not going to tell you those things. And I think there's some hiding behind, well, if we tell you to go lift and you get hurt, you could sue us. But you could also tell me to take this drug and I have a bad reaction. Can't I sue you for that as well? Like whatever's protecting them from being sued from that, why would it not protect you from exercise? It's because there's no money, right? Like if you go get a gym membership, the doctors and everybody else, they don't get any money back for that. So it's a bit of and I'm not trying to be a conspiracist, this is just factual information that a lot of drug companies, they do reimbursements back to the doctors. And I think there's a lot to be said in that kind of statement, and where a book like this is so valuable for us because he's speaking the truth. If you need to take medications, I get it. I'm not telling you not to. I have a lifelong medication I have to take. I don't have a thyroid anymore. So I have to take that daily or else, my body will deteriorate. And so if you have to have that, do it, of course, but try to do everything else you can to assist your body in, building the best bone and muscle mass that you can. And it starts simply by what you're putting into your system on a daily basis and the consistencies of going to the gym as often as you can. 20 minutes, 3 days a week, go around those circuits, just start there. And if you can continue to build that eventually and learn how to use free weights, I think it's going to be even more beneficial. Now, next couple of episodes of this, we're going to get into this kind of like prehab. We'll start discussing some of the things that we can do to keep you upright, able and eligible to, maintain a good quality of life without the massive risk of falls and anything else that kind of comes with the typical aging, frail, assumptions, and how we can become one of the outliers, one of that 10% that this is not going to happen to me as I age. I do not want you to be part of any of those statistics. I hope you enjoyed this. Any comments or questions, feel free to hit me up in the comment section below. Feel free to share and help us grow our community, subscribe, and hit that like button, all that. I appreciate it. All right, everybody, until next time, continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia. We'll see you then. Take care.